folks? Dude here, coming to you on yet another occasion of Dude After Dark. So hopefully things are going to be not working completely jacked up, but probably working appropriately. All right, so signed on now on Facebook, signed on now on YouTube, and right off the bat, I want to let you guys know there is, of course, the new venue that people seem to be just flying off of Facebook and registering on. It is very, very overloaded right now, and I'm talking about none other than Parler. So Parler, Parler.com. Now, I'm on there as 80s Podcast Channel, and if you just search for me, obviously you'll find me. John Yost, appreciate you coming on by. Marcus Wong, appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. Oh, man, also I got Abram over on the YouTube side. So how you guys doing tonight? What's not bad, dude? I got bumped up to 16 bones an hour. Dude, congrats, man. You're above minimum wage. Unfortunately, you're still in California, which is like, ow. California is just, living in California is, how can you say it politely? Living in California is just, it's very just, there's no other way around it. It is just going to be painful because they just take the, they just take that right out of you. They rip it right out of you. Okay, so anyway, looking at stuff and checking things out on the interwebs. It is what it is for this thing to be hashed out. Now, I know everybody's like freaking out and going, whoa, it should be this way, or it should be that way, or the election result as this. There's going to be the recounts. There's going to be all the court stuff. There's behind the scenes stuff. I am sure governmentally it was occurring. You got to know when you do something internet wise, there's probably no less than probably a whole bunch of different don't talk about it to the U.S. government that know you just did something online. Okay. Now, whether they actually follow up and prosecute you for it, or if you did something just, sketch, or if you did something just blatantly illegal, or if you did something that's internationally Bond villain type of stuff, you got to know that they know about it, okay? There's no in the world you get around and you do stuff and, the government doesn't know something. And, of course, there's always that case of where they can chase it down, and when it finally makes contact, it is redonkulous. Now, universally, I always described interaction with the individual, with the U.S. government, is kind of like you're stuck in a room with a fly. You have a sledgehammer. You're trying to get the fly with a sledgehammer. You're running around. You're swinging, missing, making massive dents and damage all over the place. However, when you finally contact that fly with that hammer, it's going down, man. And that thing is just, it's really just, it's a dead duck. So anyway, Donnie C, appreciate you coming on by, dude, hanging out with me tonight and good stuff like that there. So pretty much anything the government does, when they finally do get a hold of you, oh, wow, it is just... It's no good. No bueno. So I'm thinking that, long run, everybody just needs to hang back, because it is a long, drawn-out affair. Once you have the two guys contesting each other and going, I won, this, that, the other thing, just remember the most important thing ever about any election ever. The U.S. news media does not decide the winner. They can project the results. They can say exit polling said XYZ, and of course, they can do their influential stuff like they usually do, where they try to say, well, the vote count for blah, blah, blah was expressly over blah, 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 or under blah, blah, blah. It really doesn't hold any merit. What actually holds merit is the true, complete, and full results. Once it goes through court, once it basically makes its inroads and various venues therein, and everything happens to the way in which it's supposed to, or there is some justification to say things aren't right, and there's tools that are in the Constitution to take care of a fraudulent election. don't worry about it, okay? You have faith in, the Almighty and good stuff like that there. Things will square themselves away one way or the other. If nothing else, if Biden manages to get in office and the Congress and the Senate are locked in with, equal numbers on both sides, it's going to be 4 years of gridlock, man. There's not going to be a whole hell of a lot going on. And that's why the stock market exploded. Beside, of course, this whole thing about, we've got this new vaccine. It's wonderful. Politicians love to have their hands in everything. Business guys want to have the absolute least amount of intrusion upon that which they do in their daily interactions with society and their daily interactions with each other, and of course, financial aspects, what have you. They want to have the least amount of intrusion possible of which to make their things, the gears clink and, all those things meshing smoothly. Gridlock for anybody in the U.S. government is a good thing. Trust me, anything. Gridlock is good. That means that they don't do anything. Now, if you guys know your history, and here's the thing that really, truly is kind of sketch about the federal government currently. They do actually have their vacation, whatever you wish to call it, or their time off. And there's a reason why they actually did have the out of session time periods and time and eternal. It's because Washington, D.C. in the summertime sucks. It is hot. It is nasty. It is sticky. It is not the best place to hang out and, sit in a hot marble place or all this stone construction and basically fry your various, hang on a second here. I got to find the appropriate one. Fry all your various, hang on a second here. I got it somewhere. No, that's not it. Yeah. Fry all your various,
I've got balls of steel.
No, they don't have that in Congress and Senate, trust me. But they don't want to sweat those off. So anyway, way, shape, and form in which they find themselves, they had the time period off in the summertime, which, was like the most oppressive part of the year, and they had the summertime break. Well, considering that we've had air conditioning for over 100 years now, that really doesn't hold merit. But the thing is, anytime those guys are in session, they can't do anything, it's a good thing. So them being not toasty and them not doing anything in Congress and Senate for, the summer vacation, out of session, call what you will, is a good thing. For them to actually be just gridlocked completely where they can't do anything either way, yeah, that's good too. Gridlock is good, okay? Trust me in this one. Trust Lord Buddha and Double Lot Buck. Abrams. DOJ put UV markers on a lot of bullets. Okay, whatever. It's hard to put a UV. What happens if you have the pre-UV markers? Yeah, I mean, well, that's the other thing too. It's also easy to find out. If you want to see if your bullets have UV markers, just get out of black light, okay? If your bullets glow a strange color, there's such a thing as, paint remover, such a thing as paint thinner, such a thing as like scuffing it off a little bit of, SOS pad. If you got to go to that degree to zap somebody, that's kind of freaking weak, man. I really, truly don't put a lot of trust in bad rumors or half-arsed information. Yeah, I mean, if they want to basically paint a bunch of bullets and say these are UV marked for law enforcement or they've been micro-stamped or all the rest of this fun stuff. Matt Duggan, appreciate you hanging out with me tonight, dude. Explode like predator blood. Oh man, I cannot begin to tell you how many gallons of the light stick fluid I'm sure they went through or something to glow appropriately. There's actually a really good movie. I mean, I think it was like KL-119, and they called it The Widowmaker. It was basically a Russian submarine, and it had nuclear reactor problems. And it actually was a rather decent flick, and it had a good cast in it. And the thing is, they needed to replicate what it looks like when somebody is splashing around in irradiated water. Now, if you guys know anything about nuclear stuff, here's the classic one. If you take something that is radioactive and you put it in water, it glows. And I don't mean it just, looks very pretty. I mean, it glows like this scary, surreal kind of, whoa, something is going on here type of thing. that's the interaction between nuclear type stuff and water. It actually makes it fluoresce. Well, in this KL-119 thing, they're like, well, we got to make it look like glowing. Well, the dirty little secret is water containing quinine, read like tonic water, like the stuff you use in your bar for, a gin and tonic. If you expose it to UV, it glows. And it looks very surreal, kind of scary, bluish, like, whoa, man. And it kind of almost has like this almost Dr. Manhattan thing going on. And yeah, I know I got that going on now with the monitor over on my side here. For some reason, the camera picks up my laptop and makes it has this Dr. Manhattan thing going on. Mail-in ballots had UV markers, and it was the K19. I thought it was KL-119. Okay, K19 then. So basically, the Widowmaker had decent cat. You know what? I'm now going to be looking this thing up because I am now intrigued to remember what it was. Window. Hang on a second here. Not window, but Widowmaker. Let's see, KL-19. No, it's K19. You're right there, Abrams. K19 Widowmaker 2002, containing Harrison Ford, Sam Sproul, Peter Stebbins, Christian Carmago, and it was Russia's first nuclear submarine malfunctions. Yeah. Now, here's the dirty little secret about this thing. Supposedly, this thing was like messing up big time, and the U.S. Navy was like, shadowing the Russian sub, because the dirty little secret is Russian subs are not quiet. They're not. They insist, oh, it is the Russian sub, he's the best sub on planet. They're not quiet, okay? We can find their submarines pretty easily because, they just make noise, okay? It is, our stuff is really, really, really quiet. Read like basically sounds like a fish fart at best. And their stuff has gotten better. I mean, the technology has definitely improved, but Russian submarines, they're still not American submarines, okay? And our stuff is still just that good. So anyway, it was out. It was having problems. It started making noises. Of course, the Americans are like shadowing this thing. It was a good distance away, and they're like scanning them going, yeah, these guys are glowing like microwave ovens. They got problems. And of course, they offer to help. And the Russians are like, niet, not boat. We leave boat is problem because you'll get all our secrets. Dude, no, we don't want what you got, okay? Trust me, your boat's a piece of crap and it's glowing like, it's on fire. We don't want it. You guys are getting very active over in the YouTube side. Hang on 1 second here. Voting ballots, not bullets. Okay, cool. Don't shoot them with a ballot either, right? The mail-in ballots had UV markers. It was K19. Spell check, ballots, or dance or ballet. Oh, no. We're going back and forth now with spelling Nazis. Oh, been there, done that. Mine also. Okay. All right. So the ballots, not ballet and not bullets, the ballots had UV markers on them. Oh, man. And I do remember it was actually kind of funny, too, because in the voting area that I went to was actually a high school. And, they marched us. It was really cool, too, in Maryland, because you could go to any voting place. They could look you up, and you could do the vote right then and there. Of course, Maryland tends to go exceedingly wrong way. But they let us come in. They let us do the voting. And they told us, turn off your smartphone. Turn off your cell phone. And we're standing in line, and some dude next to me is like, boop, beep, boop, 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 boop. And I'm like, I wonder when one of the judges is going to come over here and go, stop that. But they didn't. So that whole thing about being unable to utilize your phone in a voting place, no. And it was also kind of funny too, because there was actually a line when you do the ballots in Maryland. You basically you scribble in the oval of your choice and what have you, and then you take your thing and you run it through what looks like a big ass printer, and it scans your results, drops it into a lockbox. And then somewhere, here we go. Yep. So I got my I voted. Yeah. So anyway, so essentially, basically get done with the little stand-up stall where you've scribbled your stuff in there, and the lady just saw me get done, and she's like, just come over, throw your thing in there. Well, there was a line of people to get checked out after they did the the voting thing, and Mrs. Dude catches up with me. She's like, hey, how'd you throw your thing in there so fast? It's like, I don't know. He just pulled me out and said, do it. So I didn't do it on my own, okay? I didn't. But anyway, so that was basically the voting in Maryland, and relatively painless. I think total took us 30 minutes, when before, it would be slapdash. It probably added about 2 times the time. I mean, normally we hit those things. You'd hit a school, you stand in line, you're nuts to butts, not you're basically like the 6 feet apart with the mask on. I did not put the mask on until I walked into that building because, rebreathing my own stuff in outside air just is anathema to me. So anyway, basically did the easy vote, fed the thing, did the thing, got the hell out of Dodge. And the school I actually hit is only about 10 minutes from my house, so it's relatively painless. Usually what it is the school that literally is pretty much around the corner from my house is where they did the voting. But this time they switched it up and they made it a bigger school, which was one of the high schools, literally a little ways down the road further from the 2 schools that they normally would use. So anyway, that was the voting type of stuff that happened for me on the election day per se. But like I said, man, it is what it is. It's going to be a long drawn out affair. It's going to go back and forth for who's winning, who's not winning. All the voting results are, X, or they're invalid, or they're DUS, or this or that. It is what it is, and it has to work through the process. Now, of that, the news media always picks their guy early, always props him up as much as possible, always fosters the results as saying, oh yeah, our guy shellacked that guy and this, that, and the other thing. It's going to be close, okay? It's not going to be one of these things where they go, oh yeah, well there's 5 million newfound votes for this guy, or that guy was so in deficit to the other guy because he was so much less popular than the previous. And it's this long drawn out affair now. We just really have to hash it out and wait for it. However, the news media does not elect the U.S. president. Never has, never will. And also for them to do this disingenuous, well, we know what the results were. Our polling showed blah, blah, blah. Got bad news for you. A bunch of people in their polling results would simply just say, you know what? I'm not saying who I'm voting for, or I'm simply just not going to answer you. So that was one of the biggest problems they had was, of course, the news media was oversampling their own guys just ridiculously. I mean, it was absolutely one of the easiest things to see for what it was, is the oversampling was just beyond insane. And of course, they were propping up everybody as much as they possibly could. The news guys are the news guys. They're going to pick their guy and they're going to stick with him and they're going to ride him to ultimate conclusion or just total doom. That said, the news media has picked it wrong a bunch of times. The news media has picked it wrong a bunch of times and also held to their guns saying, we're not switching up because we know the results and we know the guy who should have won did win or didn't win and blah, blah, blah. And they held to their guns completely wrong on more than several recent occasions. Oh, I don't know, like Al Gore, they were really, really wrong on. Basically Trump's first election, they were really, 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 really wrong on. And also, you have the other thing, too, is also Trump is now standing at 7.1 or 71 million votes for him. That's the most amount of votes that any American president. So, anyway, looking at things as it is, the voting will be what it will be. And the voting has already taken place. Now it has to, go through all the various processes, and it will be a mess. Of course, the Democrats, if they're losing, or they're going to try to muddy the waters. Of course, Republicans are basically going to be the Republicans. It is what it is. With these unknown quantities, and these guys always do what they're doing. They're politicians, okay? Politicians live almost exactly in the same world as actors. And one of the best quotes I ever heard from a politician was like, so, why'd you become a politician? He goes, I wasn't pretty enough to be an actor. They do the same thing, folks. They basically stand in front of you and pretend to be so stridently for their cause, and it's going to be is such as what they stated, and they will not deviate. It is what it is, and they're not going to stop being who they are. All right, so let me scrolling over here to my news feed. I really didn't do a whole heck of a lot. Mostly because, obviously election was going on. So I really didn't do that much over the course of, last week, obviously, because the election was going on. I'm not going to be in competition with, the election taking place. I know for a fact, I know my limits, and I know exactly where people's attention are going to be laying. And they don't want to see me. They want to see where the election's going. So I shut the, blank up and just let it take place. All right. So, scrolling. I'm really not going to just keep ragging on this election thing. It's really not doing anything for me. So it is what it is. It needs to hash it out. Sleeping dogs lie until it happens. I'm just not going to keep ragging on it. I will keep ragging on, persons, and you don't even want that can of whoop ass opened up. Trust me. I am now swinging for the fence. You already knocked off one of my Facebook pages. Trust me. Trust me. I have got good rapport with my brain saying, hey, dude, it's time to just... You don't want what you want because you're going to get something you don't want. Trust me on that one. All right. So anyway, scroll. I do have a new project, and I got to be a little catty about this. YouTube really doesn't like when you demonstrate firearms. So how do I demonstrate something without demonstrating a firearm? I know. I'll tell you what I can do. I can do this. Okay, I also posted up a video on YouTube describing this item, but I'm going to be talking today about what I'm going to be putting on top of something. And this, of course, being a Vortex Strike Eagle. It is a 4x20, 4x50. So you're talking about a 6 times zoom, tactical, practical, 30 millimeter tube beast. Weighs almost 1.7 pounds, with sub 4 bills, which is, in the scheme of things, exceedingly cheap. I mean, you start talking like, the high dollar loopholes or US Optics or, any of those other like premium brands, and their prices go stratospheric. But I did post up a YouTube video, and I give more depiction and description and good stuff like that there. Of course, obviously, I'll never be able to AdSense it, so I'm not going to cry about that one. But the thing about it is it is intended for a build that I'm doing, and you can look up Forgotten Weapons, and they had what they refer to as a WWSD, Eugene Stoner. The gentleman is involved with the Fairchild design team that actually designed the AR-10/AR-15/M16 weapon system, and it'll give depiction, description, and some idea of where I am, because I'm now doing a what would dude do. So what Forgotten Weapons did was they got a hold of a classic Cavalry Arms /GWAX/KE Arms K15, and it essentially is a all one-piece polymer lower. So basically you have the lower receiver, the pistol grip, and the buttstock, and the buffer tube are essentially 2 plastic clamshells that they sonic weld together, and it becomes a cohesive piece of polymer. Now, the thing about it is Cavalry Arms, they had some kind of, kerfuffle with the ATF, and they had to cease operations. The guy that was involved with them, luckily, didn't get stuck in the clink. He basically just, said, okay, fine, you busted me doing something that really wasn't that big a deal, but eventually, you're going to screw me anyway. So with the regulations being what they are, I'm not going to win this one. Okay, what do you want? The ATF said, give us your license, stop manufacturing. And he said, fine, cool, I'm done with it. So essentially, then a little while later, read like a good number of years later, there was a company called GWAX, and I actually interviewed the guy that had GWAX, and they bought all the tooling, they bought all the intellectual property, and they bought basically everything that they needed to do to build a Cavalry Arms lower. And of course, stamped GWAX, and they produced some of them until such point in time that they actually wore out the dies. Now, if anybody knows anything about polymer's cheap. I mean, essentially, you're talking like, maybe like $1 or $2 of actual polymer being utilized for construction of anything being polymer. It is the thing that you use to shape the polymer. Go in a press, they squirt the molten polymer in there, and it forms the piece. It gives it a couple seconds of cooling, pops open, spits out a fully formed piece with only minor work needed to be done to it to finish it off. So essentially what happened is with G-Wax is they had the tooling, but they didn't have the wherewithal to buy the new dies. And you can ask the guys over Polymer 80 how much a set of dies cost, because I know the guys at Polymer 80, and they told me a set of dies for just a standard lower receiver is somewhere between $60,000 to $100,000. Now, also, it's a wear and tear item. So you're only going to get about so many years of use out of it before it's done. It's worn out. It's too loose. The things don't fit together anymore. It's squirting plastic everywhere. It's squirting polymer everywhere. It doesn't really do the job correctly any longer. And it's all worn out stuff. Well, that's what happened with G-Wax is, they fell upon hard times, or they just didn't want to replace all this stuff. And they made as many as they possibly could before they wore the tooling out. And then KE Arms bought the intellectual property from G-Wax because G-Wax was now languishing and they weren't doing any more of their lowers. Excuse me one second. I'm going to look over at the YouTube side here. Go Aaron Burr style to decide this stuff. Oh, jeez. Anyway. Patriot Fever 1776, dude. Appreciate you hanging on me tonight, dude. Can Trump and Biden set in this dual style with flintlocks? Oh, man. That's your classic one right there. Of course, you'd have, 10 paces, turn, and fire. I kind of like that. I really kind of like that. That one, the field of honor, you better do it. You better do it right. The only one I could think of that possibly even be funnier that was, I don't know if you guys ever saw the TV show Highlander or the movie Highlander, where they were dueling and they kept killing the guy, and he's like gets run through, and the guy's okay, all right, I'm still here, and the guy grabbed the sword and he's like running him through, of course, the Highlander is on the field of valor, just drunk as hell, and he's like, yes, he's getting stabbed up, and he's like, all right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, broach your honor with this girl, blah, blah, blah. I'm so sorry. And, it's like, okay, I think honor's been satisfied. You've killed him like 15 times. But anyway, but yeah, the field of honor and flintlocks, that would be badass. I wonder if I could be the guy to load the weapons. That would be fun. Yeah, that would be really, really fun. But anyway, so Scrolly. I've been referring to them as Dimbulb and the Slut. That's just me. But, their real names. So, Patriot Fever 1776 says, dude, if the slut knocks off Dimbulb and he comes back as a walker, do you unload the clip one round to the head and call it poetic, or he ain't worth the round and bust out the blades? Oh, man. There's only one thing that cleanses, and there's nothing that cleanses but fire. So I'm thinking you crack out the flamethrower and you basically take the walker Dimbulb and you just, yeah, man, you just, you basically just have to give Dimbulb a little bit of fire, a little fire cleansing, because truthfully, nothing ever cleanses anything like, well, oops. Oh, no. We got a Dimbulb on fire. Put him out, guys. Put him out. All right. So, I'm thinking that's the only thing that really, truly works here is you pretty much just have to flamethrower. Don't waste the ammo. Basically kind of walking around in flames. And, that's, yeah. Better, just better, okay? Or if you want to really, 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 really do it hardcore, oh no, I'm being chased by the debtor. You run him into a hallway. Basically, you climb upstairs, make sure the door is closed, and of course he's banging on the wall, running each year, and you just dump a gallon of gasoline on him and just, grab that last drag off the smoke, and yep, that would just fix everything. Just fix everything, because a flaming debtor is a cool debtor in my book, and there's just no other way to do it except for just lighten them up.
Fatality.
No sound guy. No, we're talking double fatality. Okay, so he's very, very. No, he's this.
Fatality.
That. He's not this. No. He's this.
Fatality.
That one. He's that. Okay. Yeah. He's woofed. Okay, GTA wasted. Yeah. Okay, that works too. I like that. There can only be one. Oh man. Look at Ray. Appreciate you coming on by. Semper Fi, dude. Hoorah. Carry on. 1776, November 10, Tons Tavern, Philadelphia. Two were commissioned battalions by the former Quaker, and that was the start of the U.S. Marine Corps in 1775, predating the United States. Marine Corps came first. Hoorah. Let's see. Scroll. I talked about Parler. Fabrizio El Tenda, also known as El Tendo on YouTube, has had his account killed on Facebook, alongside, mine being killed as well. That's kind of sketch type stuff. This says to me that Facebook is really, truly in the bag and afraid of their guy not being able to cut the mustard. Matt Duncan says a Vulcan 20mm cannon mounted to the Ubermobile. Oh, jeez. Man, that would be good stuff. That'd be fun to watch, Yeah. Yeah. Uh-oh. I think ED209 hosed him. Wow. Yeah, I think that's dead enough for pretty much everybody. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's dead enough. Wow. Yeah, the Rick and Morty sad music. That's exactly where that one goes. Wow. Oh man. Do you have to call the Patriot Fever? Do you have to call the fire department right away? No, I'm going to quote Samuel L. Jackson and Die Hard. Do we have to do anything for him? Nah. Let was. Oh, what is this? Yeah, I saw that. Yep, it's going to be fun. Mrs. Dude was handing me off a headline coming to her because she's on Parler too now as well. Supposedly, I don't even know how really to address this person by name. I got to get some sound bites. There's a sound bite I really truly want to use to describe her. How do I describe her?
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Oh, no. She's about as far away from Snoo Snoo as you possibly can get. No, we are not talking about Snoo Snoo. We're talking about... I'll use that right there. Okay, that's the one I'm going to use. I'm talking about none other than... Nancy Pelosi. Supposedly, considering the House is now switched up and the Senate is still in flux, she does not have the votes to remain as Speaker of the House of Congress any longer. So, line of succession: President, Vice President, Leader of the House of Congress. So, here's something that's kind of funny if you think about it. If the vice president kicks off, I believe the Senate is the one that votes to put a new vice president in. So potentially you could have a Democrat president, a Republican vice president, but here's the one that's closest to the states currently. Potentially you could have a Republican leader of the House of Congress. She gets booted, and in the line of succession, let's just say that Dim Bulb gets impeached, the slut gets impeached, and you now have the third person scenario, gambit, mess up thing, call it what you will, total, well, I don't know if I would say ding, but total bunch of, yeah, it would definitely be that. But I'm sure Nancy Pelosi was quoted as saying, no. I tend to think that was exactly what we were hearing when she got count numbers back. Yeah. Oh, man. You want to talk about hosed. She probably had her dentures going. One more. Yeah, one more. Oh, thank God Pelosi's gone, I hope. Rick and Morty. Yes. So that's the other thing, too, is also, like I said, gridlock. Gridlock is good. Anytime you stop Congress, Senate, anything you can possibly think of in the U.S. government, and you gridlock it to the point where it cannot proceed to intrude, step on, screw with, jack with, remove, mess with your potential ability to...
by snoo-snoo.
Now, I was not going to say death by snoo-snoo, sound guy. I was going to say your inalienable rights. Okay? That's the one where I was going to. I wasn't thinking...
Death by snoo-snoo.
I was not thinking death by snoo-snoo. Although snoo-snoo's not bad. I don't mind snoo-snoo. Snoo-snoo's perfectly fine. I don't mind snoo-snoo. I'm a fan of snoo-snoo. Hey, I'm a fan of snoo-snoo. Please read back my last comment. Okay, dude, I just remembered this. Tomorrow marks 50 years since Rhodesia broke free from Great Britain. Yeah, I mean, too terribly unfamiliar with, because, you know, one of my friends is actually South African. So African history, Rhodesia, South Africa, you know, that whole Southern African region, I'm kind of like, you know, a fan of, like, you know, the cool stuff going on down there. You know, the Zulus, you know, the Zulu Wars, the Brits versus the Zulus, Zulu Dawn, you know, all that stuff. And I'm like a huge fan of it. It's like, it's really cool history. And history being what it is, Africa is the mother nation. So there's a lot of stuff going on, you know, currently that's still messed up. And then people are like, well, you know, Africa's so jacked up. Dude, it hasn't been like that, like anything new. It's been like that for freaking ever, okay? You're not talking anything that's new under the sun in Africa. I mean, the Zulu and the Nkosa have been after each other for thousands of years. You know, the Zoso and, you know, the other guys have been, like, chasing each other around forever. You know, you're not talking about anything different in Africa simply by saying, well, it's modern history because their government's repressive to their own society. No, dude, the Tin Pot dictator wasn't exactly invented in Africa, but it was perfected. Wow. Yeah, man, that's bad juju. I mean, I get, like, African passengers doing, like, Uber and Lyft, and they're blown away. They're like, wow, this guy really knows, like, you know, African geography. He knows the history. You know, we'll riff on stuff, and they're like, wow, this is really refreshing. It's like, yeah, I'm not the ignorant American, you know, I'm not the ugly American. I know what you guys have got going on over there because I read this stuff, you know, I'm very intrigued with, like, history to begin with because I'm a history buff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that just intrigues me. So I really, truly want to know about it because it's just interesting to me, and I just need to... Sound guy, no, I don't need to do that. I need to read up about the history, okay? He gets into the fart column and nothing good. The Tusian, yeah, definitely. Yep. Yeah, definitely the Tutsi and the Hutus. Man, those guys have been just forever, you know, claiming ears, as it were. It is not new history in Africa whatsoever. Let's see. Scroll. Um, I really don't want to get into the politics, but the numbers are jumping around all over the place. Okay, I really don't want to touch on it too much because it's too screwed right now. Everything is just weird. Okay, it's just you see this stuff and there's a news story and you're like, no, the heart rate's going. Okay, the heart rate did not stop. All right, the heart rate's fine. Okay, it was not like I basically had a bad case of. No, that was fine too. Okay, that didn't break. I'm good. All right. Oh, jeez. He's got the new sound effects, folks. Yeah, he's got the new sound effects. Yep. Yeah, he's playing with the new ones. All right. So anyway, scrolly. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, this one has been near and dear to my heart since I first read it. And we're talking about, of all things, obviously one of my favorite actors of all time. I mean, I've always really liked his work. I've always liked the fact he basically was, he was, to use the German phrase, he was a Mensch. He was a Mensch. He was a man. He was somebody who lived his life as the way in which he put his opinions out there, saying these things and living these things, and not being a fake vessel containing just, dookie. But of all things I wish to speak on, of all quote that he was talking about in the 1992 LA riots. And it was hilarious because he basically had, obviously Charlton Heston was known to be a gun guy in California, and he was known to be a very strident gun rights person, obviously worked for the NRA and all the rest of that good stuff like that there. But he had an okay collection of stuff. And I'm not talking like just okay. He had a collection of stuff. So anyway, 1992, the LA riots are going on, fires burning, people freaking out and all the rest of that fun stuff. And liberals were calling him, and his quote is exactly this. Quote, Chuck, you have quite a few guns, don't you? Yes, I do. Shotguns and like that? Indeed. Could you lend me one for a day or so? I tried to buy one, and they have this waiting period. And Chuck, of course, responded thusly. Yeah, I know. I remember you voted for that. Do you know how to use a shotgun? No, I thought you could teach me. This is getting a little scary. So, of course, he responds thusly. I noticed. I could teach you, but not in an hour. You might shoot yourself instead of the bad guys. The Marines are coming up from Pendleton. That'll end this. When it does, go buy yourself a good shotgun and get yourself some lessons. It doesn't get so scary then. Heston said also his director, writer friend, John Milius, read like Conan, read like Red Dawn, that John Milius, had more calls and was more forthright. Sorry, they're all being used. So, my statement to the anti-gunners at this point in time is simply this. They're mine. I don't loan them. I'm not going to... Oh, yeah, you truly don't like them anyway, so you don't need one. On that one, don't ask to borrow my stuff, folks. You ain't going to get one on loan. Unless you happen to be one of those persons of good rapport and you do know of which end of the tube the round comes out, to use the G. Liddy quote. Let's see. Scroll. I got more voting stuff. I'm trying to get away from it. But there's one chick I do want to talk about. And this happened in Texas. This so sickens me, folks. This happened in Texas. Attorney General Ken Paxton announced today that election fraud unit assisted the Limestone County Sheriff and District Attorney in charging Kelly Reagan Brunner, Brunner, a social worker in the Mejia State-Supported Living Center, which is the SSLC, with 134 felony counts of purported acts of acting as an agent and of election fraud. The state said in a statement that state-supported living centers serve people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Translation, people who aren't all there, retarded citizens, call it what you will, people easily influenced by people who are not of that former group. Bruno submitted voter registration applications for 67 residents without their signature or effective consent while purporting to act as their agent. Well, gets better, folks. Under Texas law, only a parent, spouse, or child who is a qualified voter of the county may act. The statement continued, none of the SSLC patients gave effective consent to be registered, and a number of them have been declared totally mentally incapacitated by a court, thereby making them ineligible to vote in Texas. The statement added that if she's convicted, she faces up to 10 years in prison for these offenses. Now, I've heard other stories being posited around it, basically you have situations where you have like old folks in old folks' homes, and they were denied food, they were denied treatment, and they were denied ability to do certain things because the staff said, you're going to sign this voter registration thing, you're going to sign this voter blah, 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 and you're basically going to vote for so-and-so, or you're not going to get fed, watered, and all the rest of this fun stuff. Anybody that does something disreputable like that to an older person who is not of their full faculties, oh, trust me, you need a short trip off a very high cliff. Let's see. Sound guy needs a beanie weenie shirt to go with the Manchurian. Oh, shit. Oh, sound guy needs a beanie weenie shirt to go with the Marichon. Yeah, well, the Marichon instant lunch shirt. Yes. Let's see. Damn right looking, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, from my cold dead hands. Absolutely, man. And that's from the Canadian guys, okay? Even the Canadian guys are like, man, we don't want to give them up. And they're really not happy about the guy running things up there now. Some of them are. A lot of them aren't. They got their own version of, a bad case New York leader. I think you got your own Bloomberg is really what you got. Yeah, it's just ugh. Anyway, butter knife liberal, go get yourself a weapon. Level 2 slime. Hey, dude, from the UK. Just found your channel again after watching your Buckmaster Knife review years ago. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming back. I appreciate you finding me. I have left a lot of those older course trying to get views. It's annoying as all get out. It's just one of those things we got going on right now. So trying to get views on YouTube is just really, really annoying. Trying to keep people locked in to where they can see what you're doing and, your updates and what have you is really, really hard now. Of course, they basically AdSense pretty much just, you better be like of the anointed persons to have AdSense of, any way, shape, and form. I mean, I got a dollar amount in AdSense. The threshold is like $100 to take it out. And my AdSense has been under $100 forever. Ever. And the previous dollar amount wasn't that much either. So, I really haven't made like scads of cash on AdSense to begin with. But the way that they've done it in such a way now, it really, truly is hard to make any money at all on AdSense. And it's not by accident. It's something they've done entirely to steer the traffic so they're the most profitable as any way, shape, and form. And the thing that really, truly annoys me most of all is that, YouTube doesn't make us any money. Well, you know what? If you're a billion dollar corporation like Google is, because they're like 95% of the searches on the internet, there's no reason in the world why they shouldn't just say, well, YouTube's a lose tax write-off, which is what they probably do anyway, but they play poor man. Let's see. Definition of liberal up here in Canada is different than what you have your... Well, no. There's the classic definition of a liberal, and that's been co-opted by the modern day liberals. No, we are still liberals, dude, but in the old classic British sense. The left wing for the left wing and not the Tories on the right wing. Yes, we are the common man versus the big government types and, the ones that really want to control everything. We're the freedom fighters. Patriot Fever. If they attack with rainbow dildos on unicorns, they can't beat. Man. Logan, when they think liberal, I think John Locke and Thomas Jefferson instead of Obama. Here, here. Exactly, Callie. Here, here. You're talking your old school, Ben Franklin, all those guys. The Federalist Papers was not bad stuff. The classic definition of the liberals was what we are, not what they are. They are control freak socialist mongrels. They are not liberals in the slightest. Let's see. Scroll. Supposedly there was a page that went up on Facebook, and there's a hashtag that was floating around too. And of course, Twitter stomped on that one with both feet. But it was Stop the Steal. And man, you want to talk about liberals going, ah! That was it. That really, it's short, it's profound, and it describes everything in the way, shape, and form in which it should be done and said. And they flipped their wigs because it was something that just really, truly made them look bad. And obviously, you look around and, there's a bunch of people going, the stuff seems sketch, it doesn't seem right. All the rest of that, happy horse stuff floating around. It is what it is. I would tend to think, though, if, you're looking at dim bulb and slut as the solution to the problems at hand, and you're saying, oh, yeah, they're the answer to the question. It was a probably really stupid question. Love some of the old comedians. Put it this way, our liberals are now leftists and our conservatives are now your Democrats. Oh, jeez. So, okay, all right, Logan. So what does that mean to guys in Quebec? What does that make the guys in Quebec? Oh, man. Kinnison Lang, Carlin, a lot of the new comedians at work. True. Very true. There's a lot of, that's the other thing too, is also British humor is way more cerebral than American humor. Americans, we like pratfalls and stupid fart jokes. The Brit guys are like, well, this is what occurred and this day and blah, 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 blah. And you have to kind of put your ear to it a little bit, but it's good stuff. It's definitely funny things. And I truly enjoy British humor among American humor, and it's just fun stuff. The slapstick stuff, you guys do slapstick good too. I mean, Mr. Bean is still funny stuff. Rowan Atkinson is just good, just really, really good, fun stuff. One of my favorite. Okay, all right. If we're gonna go with Rowan Atkins, my favorite skit of his is The Devil. Look it up on YouTube. That is probably one of his funniest skits ever. And I still watch that every once in a while and get a good laugh out of it. But Rowan Atkins doing The Devil. That is just classic British humor right there. Let's see. Red Fox and Richard Pryor were wonderful souls. Indeed. Oh, okay. Don't forget Dolomite. Oh, Blackadder. Yeah. Blackadder is fun. If you want to really know level 2, my absolute favorite British comedy, Red Dwarf. Hands down. Red Dwarf is the shiznit. That was just a fun series. The whole run of it was just fun. Let's see. Scroll. Scrolly. Let's see. Scroll. I'm trying to avoid all the election stuff, but man, some of it is just too easy. Well, I have been smacking out on Zuckerberg too, so hopefully they notice the fact that I'm being snarky to pretty much everybody. Playing favorites. Let's see. Oh, it's essentially modern British comedy. No, I'd have to look that one up, dude. I would have to. Level 2 is saying, have I seen Peep Show? It's essentially modern British comedy. No, I've not seen that one. I'm probably gonna have to look that one up. There's a lot of funny guys out there. I mean, there's a lot of funny people out there. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that tend to go, well, okay, I know, I'm a comedian. I'll be as hardcore liberal, and I do mean leftist. I'll be as hardcore leftist as possible, and I'll keep ragging on politics and whatnot. It's like, dude, do you have anything else to talk about? Oh, let me go talk about reproductive issues. Oh, let me go joke about, blah, blah, blah. My so-and-so is this, that, and the other thing. It's like, oh, go away. And that's the thing, too, is I have XM Sirius satellite radio in my, my Honda. So, during the course of doing Uber and Lyft in between passengers, I'm listening to the comedy channels just because, I don't want to listen to the news. I don't want to hear some kind of pap about, well, this is wrong with this, that, and the other thing. You're looking for the outlets of joy and outlets of, just fun. You're really not looking for more continued suck of which, pretty much the pundits of all the political venues seem to be just so expressly locked in on. You can't get them to shut up about anything about, well, this guy's like blah, 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 and that guy's like blah, 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 and this group does this, that, and the other thing. And it's just like, you know what? Just shut up. Tired of it. All right, so I need a little bit of a palate cleanser here, and I did post up a tasting video. I will make it public, but first I usually let my Dude After Dark stuff run for at least a day or two. But I do have a tasting video for 444. I do have a tasting video for, and there's a reason why I'm wearing the ramen shirt. Yes, I'm talking about, of all things, there is a new yumminess. Oh man, we are talking about the Japanese import curry from Cup O Noodles. Oh, dude. Spoil it too much, but I'll tell you what, man, this stuff this stuff is the stuff, and this stuff is the stuff. Okay. Now, humorously enough, people go, so what does it say in Japanese on there? Well, what it says in Japanese on there is it says cup noodle curry. Big mystery. Okay. In terms of what it actually contains, it is better than your standard. Wrong side. It is better than your standard cup of noodles. If nothing else, just sheer content. The amount of noodles in this thing are like 3 times this at least, and they're good noodles. The flavor on this thing is just redonkulous. It is absolutely the best cup of noodles I have tried yet. There's another version of it, this one being the very veggie. I have not tried this one yet. There's another one that looks almost exactly like this, kind of different colors, but it's the seafood. The seafood one is gross. Do not eat the seafood one. I haven't tried the veggie one yet, but I have tried and found effective the curry. Not the easiest thing to find. They're running about $2 a piece with shipping, with Prime on Amazon, maybe a skosh more on eBay, but they are really unusual to source in the United States. And I'll tell you what, man, this stuff is the shiznit. It is the bomb. Definitely find yourself some of this curry stuff and give it a try. You will not be sorry, and you will thank me for the effort of getting it. Let's see. Patriot Fever, dude cooking shows were pretty good comedy. I miss those. Well, I need to do more of those. Obviously, I should probably do another dude cooking video sometime. I did actually have quite a lot of fun doing those, and I probably do need to do those, and good stuff like that there. Scrolly. Level 2 slime. The Japanese are mad for curry sauce alongside R-E. Kare. So they have their own way of pronouncing it, their own way of calling it. And yeah, the Japanese are absolutely mad bonkers for curry. Absolutely. Dude, veggies, you're going veg on us. No, I'm not going veggie on you, okay? I think this one contains, it's spicy chicken flavor, okay? It does contain some form of something. Does it have meat in there? I don't know. I don't know. I hope it's got meat in there. If it doesn't have meat in there, it's going to get some meat in there. I've been known to add meat to the vegan stuff just to make it better. Ugh. Oh, yeah. If you cook the vegan pork patties in bacon grease, they're so much better. Yeah, so I need to do some dude videos, cooking and what have yous, and good stuff like that there will come down the pike. I've kind of let the channel languish a bit, but, obviously I do need to do some stuff. It's mostly a case of, how fired up can you be with, you're basically stuck at home with all the COVID stuff, and, you're stuck at home, you basically, how motivated are you to go out and just do crazy stuff, in your house because you're stuck in your house? Yeah. This thing needs to end. And I'm not sticking a virus, killing vaccine in my arm, okay? Until everybody knows that stuff is safe, it ain't, okay? And that's the other thing, too, is also they're like, oh, this vaccine is amazing. It's got a 90% cure rate and this, that, and the other thing. It's like, yeah, that's great. Got a 90% cure rate. Well, What's the chance of it mutating you into something different? What's the chance of you giving you cancer? What's the chance of all kinds of unintended side effects, nasties, and just bad juju going on after you stick that stuff in your body? Man, you will never know. I mean, potentially you stick that stuff in there, and it's going to be like, well, you'll feel like the Brits in Dunkirk. Don't let the Nazis get in your bloodstream, okay? That is no, don't, okay? Don't let them in because you're gonna be sticking that yeah, you'll be sticking that caca in your body, and you never know what you're gonna get. You know, and when they say it's safe, you really kind of have to yeah, you got to think things through. You just can't go, yeah, man, stick that stuff in there and just yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to let that one happen to me because first off, anytime you have any kind of trials for anything that they're sticking in the human body, there's a 10-year trial period. Why? Because it takes 3 years for the first group of side effects to show as they're going, all right, let's just, find the first guy here, got the needle. Okay, here's the second guy here, got the needle. Yep, okay, here's the third guy. And before you know it, they're having problems and things are just going really, really wrong. And yeah, you don't want that, okay? No, you do not want that at all. You want to be as safe as you possibly can be. You don't want to be the first guy to get that crap because, well, yeah, don't do that, okay? Just don't, all right? Don't. Then we can add rat meat to the vegan crap and feed it to the walker, dipwad, and oh, jeez. I don't know, man. Looking at The Walking Dead, did they ever actually have the walkers eating like rats and stuff? I don't know. I don't know if I really saw that. I think it was more a case of they just had like everything was really, really real walkers just constantly chasing after them. I don't know. I don't know if they really went into that detail in that TV show. I do know that The Walking Dead actually started as a comic book, like a graphic comic book series. And then it got really like soap opera like and really kind of dragging it out and really just the first season was on point and then it kind of just went and I was like, dude, I'm done. I'm not watching this anymore. It just got weak. And when you have something like that, it starts great and then well, yeah, it it kind of didn't do it any longer. So anyway, coming up on the hour and change time period, I usually don't go too terribly much longer than that because I could go for like hours on end, but that becomes too long a video and people got things to do and I figure an hour people can like skip through or they can come back and review later. And of course there is obviously a free hosting on Facebook and YouTube, but obviously I don't want to make you guys wait around too long for me to just spill my spiel. So good luck, good thinking on that one. My part would probably be just saying hour-ish or so, and I'm now like an hour and 12 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it is. And I don't want to make it too terribly long, but I appreciate your kind attention, you guys hanging out tonight. And you got a gold star for attendance, good stuff like that there. And to keep myself honest. Hang on a second here. Let me do it correctly. Wrong. I hate when I do this to myself. I have like, the laptop and I have, the home computer going and I try to type the wrong thing into the wrong thing. So that kind of drives me just a little bit nuts. So like I usually say, around the cabin news, around the cabin, buy, sell, and trade, around the cabin, medicinal cannabis, roundthecabin.com/campfire. Hopefully that website will be firing things back up again. Rich right now has kind of been and kind of hanging out and doing his own thing. And I really haven't talked to him much, but I think he's doing some off time. So good stuff like that there. He's doing his thing. And but I do give the appropriate amount of attentions therein to all those guys, because they really have been there for me, and it's been kind of a long friendship, and I still give them the support. So you can find me on Facebook, obviously. If you're watching me, Dude Jerky 2, not Dude Jerky, but Dude Jerky 2. I'm on Parler now as 80s Podcast Channel. Obviously, I'm on YouTube as 80s Podcast Channel. I'm on Twitter as 80spcc. And appreciate all the guys hanging out with me tonight on both venues, all the good stuff like that there. All the new guys over on YouTube, all the old guys over on YouTube, anybody that comes in and checks out my stuff, I truly, truly appreciate your kind attentions. You got many other places to go, and you guys hung out with me, and I appreciate your kind attentions. So good stuff like that there. I will set myself up to get the heck on out of Dodge, and you guys hung out with me, and I truly, truly appreciate your kind attentions, and just hang out on this thing, okay? I know everybody's like kirking out with all this, all this election stuff, and man, there's all these things going on, and this is not the time to freak out, okay? The time to freak out right now. Save it for later. Save your freak out for a good time to freak out. Now is not such an occasion. All right, I'm gonna break up this one, folks. Appreciate your kind attention, good stuff like that there. You guys hung out with me, and I truly appreciate it. And we'll do it again next week. Good stuff like that there. Catch you guys, and Eco Cape Thundering is always, you love it. And let me find some buttons here. So catch you guys later, and